There's been no evidence that this has prevented any acts of terrorism. And I just don't know why the federal government.
Kennedy calls out the TSA's facial recognition cameras, pointing out that the opt-out sign is nearly impossible to read, and there's no proof it's ever stopped a single act of terrorism.
You probably don't have to, but when most people go through TSA, they take your picture. They have a little camera there, and they say, "Look in the camera. We want to take your picture." Now, underneath it is this little bitty sign that you can barely see, and I think it's written in Sanskrit, that says, "This is optional." I won't let them take my picture.
I won't either, Senator.
And they promised us that they destroy the data. Okay. Once again, I don't believe that Elvis is alive either. Senator Merkley and I have a bill. There's been no evidence that this has prevented any acts of terrorism. And I just don't know why the federal government has to collect this huge database of every American who flies picture.
I thank you for that. I couldn't agree with you more. I actually try to turn my head away from the camera when I go through and they're taking pictures. There's no need. I think Americans have a right to privacy. And I don't think you need a digital scan of my face to allow me to have the right to fly on an airplane. I think it's absolutely wrong. And what does it do to security? I don't think it breeds any more security in our airspace, on our airplanes. And so thank you for doing that work. I couldn't agree with you more.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
Welcome back. This is a shorter exchange, but it hits on something a lot of travelers genuinely don't know, which is exactly why it's resonated the way it has. Kennedy's setup is almost comedic, describing the tiny opt-out sign under the TSA camera as being written in Sanskrit, essentially unreadable. While millions of Americans get their faces scanned every single day without realizing they don't have to, it's a great example of how he uses humor to make a serious privacy point land without sounding preachy. Secretary Duffy's response is notable for being fully aligned with Kennedy rather than defensive. He confirms he doesn't let them take his picture either, and agrees there's no evidence the program has prevented any acts of terrorism. That agreement matters. This isn't a confrontational grilling. It's a rare moment where a senator and a cabinet secretary are on exactly the same page, publicly acknowledging that a federal surveillance program lacks a demonstrated security benefit. The bigger point Kennedy's making is about the scale of what's being collected. A huge database of every American who flies, built off a program most travelers don't even realize is optional. It's a privacy argument dressed in plain language. You shouldn't need a digital scan of your face to exercise your right to fly. And if a program isn't proven to make anyone safer, its cost to privacy needs real justification. This is a good one to bookmark if you're the kind of viewer who wants practical information out of these hearings, not just political theater, but something you can actually use next time you're standing in a TSA line. Did you know you could opt out of the photo? Let us know in the comments, and subscribe for more hearings that connect directly to your everyday life.